CLion, a cross-platform IDE for C and C++. Download now.
19 years ago, John Lakos hired me to work for Bloomberg Software Shop. I had 25 years of experience in journalism, but he dutifully pulled out books on linkers and loaders and large-scale architects. And later, my colleagues started teaching me what I needed to know. And well, it's about time I returned the favor. You are all born storytellers. You have it before language. You just have to learn how to get out of your own way. And I know this can be hard because it took me nearly 20 years as a journalist before I learned to get out of mine. We figured it out when I was writing a book about submarines and spies during the Cold War, and it was taking me years to get the first chapter written. My co-authors started begging me, just tell the part where they got stuck under the sand in the Barents Sea. Just tell the part about the mad scientist who found a missing Soviet submarine that nobody else can find. We later found out he was handling my ADHD. Little bits, little pieces, and just telling your story. Of course, he'd come back a chapter with some questions, and I'd spend hours fixing it, and he'd give it back to me and say, put it back. We all edit ourselves too much. We all step too far back from what we're trying to do. I finally realized I tell the best stories when I'm just talking to my dad. And so lately, I have been able to start coaching. I coach at CPPCon. I got to do it with Andre Alexandrescu, and Laura Savino will join us next year. I get to coach at Bloomberg. And I find that people who have slides like, do the hard stuff, don't forget the paperwork, when you ask them to put them away and say, just tell me what you're talking about, tell the best stories. They tell stories about projects where they were pulling out their hair and accomplished things nobody thought that they could. I've actually started recording my colleagues, giving them a transcript and saying, there's your talk. They've been brilliant. And I realized for a little while I thought I was teaching people how to write, but I don't have to. I can teach you how to get out of your own way. So forget what you've learned. Forget the lessons that make you want to say not enough because maybe everybody already understands what you've said. I have a colleague who likes to say there is functionally no difference between being unwilling or unable to explain something. Say the part of you that says you have to say absolutely everything you know. And I tell you this from experience, I put a room full of spies, literally intelligence officers, to sleep, telling stories about submarines that were still classified because I didn't know when to shut up. It still scares me to think about it. You just have to remember the rule of three. You're going to have a beginning, middle, and end. You're going to take people on a journey, and you're just going to tell your own stories. You can all do this. Oh, and it's okay to make things understandable. I was in my third talk about reflections, when I finally looked at the president of our C++ guild and said, okay, I still don't know what it's used for. What is it? And he said, oh yeah, after my third talk on reflections, I looked it up. It is really okay to step back. The people who already know about it are going to appreciate hearing their own story, and the people who don't may actually learn enough to want to look up more. You can do this. I can't even teach you because there's nothing to teach. Just remember, talk to your best friend. Ask yourself why. Record them while they're talking. Dom did it for me before. I was completely nervous, and he said, just tell it to me. And he took notes, and he's been my crib sheet ever since. We are all born storytellers, and anybody who wants to learn, just talk to the people next to you. They are really excited to hear what you have to say.